Hey all. So we are going to be doing something that we've not done in this channel before, and that is a little bit of tone recreation. This is just kind of like a fun kind of filler type of thing that I want to try to experiment with, see if I can't get some decent enough approximations in terms of tone. Now, I am by no means I don't have the most discerning ear when it comes to these things. I like to get just close enough. It doesn't have to be super, super close. To me, it's more what you're doing with it and your own little spin on it. So do be warned, that is the disclaimer. It's not going to sound one to one, but I'm going to try to get as close as I can to the general feeling of it. So today we are going with the PRS. I don't think this one has been in videos yet. It's on most, if not all, my productions, but not so much in the videos. Usually I've just been using different guitars. Just chose this one because it is a humbucker. I was doing a little bit of research before the video, see what type of gear the band is using. And they use 335s a lot of times and kind of Gibson style guitars. I have a Dot. It's just put away at the moment, and I just didn't feel like going out to get it. This was already on the wall, so I figured I'd just get this. It'll get me close enough. These are not the stock pickups. These are actually some Lamberton's Cremas. So that's exciting. Have had this guitar for many, many years, 2017 or so. Love it to bits. It was my main guitar for many years. Just hasn't gotten as much love recently, but definitely looking forward to giving it a little bit more love in this video. So basically, we're here in Cortex Control. Basically, the foundation of MercyMe is not super, super intricate. They are kind of like this kind of soft rock or just rock worship band. So it's not super, super specific. I am going to be basing this on their song God With Us. So just keep in mind that that's kind of the tone that I'm pursuing here, because that's kind of, to me, the quintessential MercyMe tone. So that's what we're going to be going with here. So I already pulled up the Bad Cat. So this is a Tone Junkie IR. I will have the link down below for the Cortex Cloud where you can download it. However, that particular IR is obviously paid. It's not going to be able to be shared with you. But I do highly recommend getting anything from Tone Junkie. These Bad Cats specifically are very, very, very good. So do check them out. So this is what our guitar is sounding like just out of the box, just the amp. Okay, so these are the amp settings that we're currently using. Pretty basic, not super gainy. We're gonna give it more kind of pedal type of volume or pedal gain in this particular instance. I do prefer usually sticking more to amp gain. I feel a saturation is usually a little bit nicer. But in this case, they usually run kind of like cleaner amps, and then they'll start stacking gain on top of it. So let's do the very first thing. Let's add a compressor here. I like the Jewel. And off the bat, I usually just dial it back a little bit. Let's see where that's going here. Yeah. So we're definitely in the ballpark. I did see that he is using a Morning Glory. So I was pulling that up here. I think this is a little hot. Yeah, so it's definitely, this particular capture is a little hot. So let's drop down the gain a bit. Go to a bit more body, because this is a pretty bright guitar. So let's see what that sounds like. we're definitely in the ballpark. Let's try to do this kind of like the cleaner setting of the song, and then we will do the kind of more chorusy sections. All right, so we are here. I am going to go with a dual delay just because I like the stereo kind of nature of it. We are going with 1/4 and a dotted eighth. This is just kind of the default that I think is actually just the default. I don't think I've done my own default here. Let me just check out the settings here. Yeah, so this is more or less the default. Always check it out with headphones so you can really get a sense of what it's sounding like. Yeah, so that's getting us really close. Let's do a reverb. I very much like the plate lush. This is actually the default. This is not the default settings. This is the these are my default settings. So this is what this is kind of the set it and forget it for me in terms of that particular reverb. So I try to take away quite a bit of lows, quite a bit of highs, and then the damping is at 50% on both, and mix around 35, 70 decay because I like it to be nice and long, and a nice long pre-delay to give me more of that guitar sound. Yeah, so I would say in terms of that kind of intro section, that is definitely where we are at. In terms of the, in terms of what it's sounding like. Just gonna make just some very slight adjustments here. Yeah, so in terms of that kind of like, if you listen to God With Us, that is more or less the kind of sound that intro has, at least the kind of lead guitar. And in terms of the rhythm guitar, so I'm gonna kind of put these guys over here. You'd probably be off. And then I'm gonna go with a smaller reverb. I think I'm gonna go with just a room for the kind of chugging intro part. Let's see. Let's try Hall, but have the decay way down. Yeah, so that is, again, just close-ish. It doesn't have to be super close. So for that intro and that this type of genre, when you're kind of doing the clean, you don't want to have like a whole bunch of saturation in terms of reverbs, just to kind of give the guitar its place, so it's nice and you have a nice kind of attack to it. You don't want to take away a lot of attack, especially like if the guitar like in that song is like driving that initial, and then the other guitar that there you would need some more. So yeah, that's definitely, so that would be the clean section. All right, so we labeled the first section clean, turn these on, and then second section, we are gonna give it a bit more drive. I think we're gonna keep this reverb for now. The delay, again, the same we'll see. But pretty much I was experimenting a little bit off screen just to make sure I was in the ballpark. But basically, I think just keeping the Morning Glory, just because it's that combination of the Morning Glory and the Bad Cat, like really do well. They work very well together. All I'm doing is then in this scene, just kind of giving it the 0 gain. So that's the gain that it was captured by or captured with. So I think that's getting us pretty similar. Keep in mind, when you're listening to a mix, you're also listening to like 5 different guitars, bass guitars, and pianos and things like that. So it's going to sound not as full. So in the context of a mix, this will just kind of have to be where you are. And obviously, since I do not own their music, I'm not going to go ahead and get a copyright strike and recreate anything like that. So if you want to try it, download it below and take my word for it. Yeah, so we're definitely in the ballpark. I think one thing that we could maybe add just to give a little bit extra oomphiness, we could definitely put a boost here. Yeah, I always lose them. Let's try the Z boost without like the actual gain structure. Clipping the amp at that point. What if we switch you to? I would probably dial back just a touch that trebliness, just because, again, this is a very bright guitar, and then assign this to scene, and same thing, just kind of take away a little bit, just a tiny bit. Yeah, definitely. I would say what I would probably do is just bring that back just a little bit, just to keep a little bit more attack in there. Yes. So let's do this and drop it down even farther. Yeah, so it's not as bright. Definitely. We are definitely cooking in the ballpark now with this one. All right. So I was listening to the kind of bridge of the song, and there's this interesting kind of little lead line going on there. I think that's a kind of rotary type effect. I could be way off, but this is where we are right now. And I think once we add the reverbs and the delay. So I think he might also have a chorus going after that rotary. So let's do a dream chorus. So I would probably dial that back just, let's say, because we really we want it to be in there. And let's just, for the heck of it, let's just say we want to add a dual reverse, see what happens. Yeah, so we will rename this to Bridge Lead. And that is more or less it. So I'm just going to add one more for those that are just going to be downloading this. I'm going to put in one more for you, and I'm going to put this kind of cloud setting just for those people that want to get into the, if you're watching the video, just kind of put a little something special for you, just to let you know how I approach kind of cloud reverbs. This is not necessarily part of the song. It's just something that, for example, if you're playing a song in this type of rock genre, usually if you're playing lead, you'll want to have a type of cloud somewhere at the point of the song, maybe in the beginning, things like that. So I just figured I'll add that in for you. in case you wanted to check that out. Yeah, so that is one way where you can approach clouds. That's kind of like a really simple way of doing it. I like doing the dual delay into the dual reverse, just to give you that kind of, and then the reverse delay kind of flipping that. And I usually do like a reverb into another reverb. Usually the last reverb in my chain is the plate lush, more or less these settings. If I wanted to kind of make it like super like in your face, I would do something like this, just like mod at 100% and the damping off. All right, so that is how I approach or how I would approach doing a tone recreation. Like I mentioned, I'm going to experiment a little bit with this on the channel. If it's something that you would like to see more of, go ahead and let me know. Put that comment down below. Share it with a friend that is a MercyMe fan. And if you have the Quad Cortex and you want to check it out for yourself, go ahead and click the link below for the Cortex Cloud. All my presets are always free, so you can just check them out whenever. Like I mentioned in the video, if you are interested in that IR, they are from Tone Junkie. You do have to buy them from them in order to get the most out of this particular preset. But if you happen to have matchless type amp, Bad Cat, those types of circuitries, they're usually pretty similar. You can get something similar, or you can just kind of keep the effects side of it, and your amp tone, you can kind of keep it how you like it. As always, if you do end up downloading and do something with it, whether it be a production or a video, look me up, Verbatim Records, and tag me in it. I'd love to check it out, maybe comment, maybe we can even do something together. But that's going to be doing it for me. See you next time.